If you're truly ready to change your life, then watch this video till the end. Today, I'm going to reveal powerful Stoic principles that will guide you to a new path, and you can do it in just 21 days. If you're looking to change your habits, this video is for you. Don't go anywhere, because what you're about to learn will transform your life. Welcome to the beginning of a transformative journey. Imagine, in just 21 days, you can change a habit that has held you back, or build a new habit that propels your life forward. Why 21 days? Science and psychology have shown that it takes consistent effort over this period to rewire your brain and establish new patterns. But this isn't just about science. This idea aligns perfectly with the ancient wisdom of Stoicism. The Stoics believed that consistency and discipline are the keys to a meaningful life. They didn't rely on sudden bursts of inspiration. Instead, they focused on deliberate, repeated actions every single day. Think about Marcus Aurelius, who emphasized that every day is an opportunity to live virtuously and align your actions with your goals. This is the foundation of the 21-day habit challenge. Now, let's personalize this concept. Look at your life and ask yourself, what habit would make the biggest difference if you could change it in 21 days? Is it waking up earlier, exercising regularly, reducing screen time? Maybe it's something subtle yet powerful, like cultivating gratitude or being more present with loved ones. Whatever it is, the first step is to identify it with clarity. If you don't know what you're aiming for, how will you know when you've achieved it? This clarity is vital because it sets the stage for your transformation. The Stoics believed that a life without purpose is like a ship without a destination. It will drift aimlessly. When you choose a habit, make sure it aligns with the person you want to become. This will not only motivate you to keep writing, but also give you insight into how the habit is improving your life. The act of tracking also gives you valuable feedback. If you miss a day, don't beat yourself up. Instead, reflect on why you missed it. Was it due to poor planning, lack of motivation, or an unexpected obstacle? This awareness helps you adjust your approach. Maybe you need to schedule your habit at a different time of day, or prepare in advance to make it easier to follow through. Marcus Aurelius himself believed in journaling and self-examination. In his meditations, he constantly reflected on his actions and progress. Tracking your habit is a way to bring that same level of mindfulness and accountability into your own life. It's about observing yourself without judgment and using what you learn to improve. By keeping track of your habit for 21 days, you're not just building a routine, you're creating a system of accountability that sets you up for long-term success. Celebrate your progress along the way, no matter how small, because every step forward is a step closer to mastering the change you're working toward. Surrounding yourself with the right people is crucial when trying to change a habit in 21 days. Your environment and the people you interact with daily have a massive influence on your behavior. The Stoics believed that the company you keep shapes your character, and this principle holds true even today. If you want to make a positive change, you must align yourself with people who inspire and support you. Let's say your habit is to exercise regularly. If your friends are people who value fitness and are consistent with their workouts, being around them will naturally encourage you to follow through. For example, you might join a friend for a morning jog or sign up for a fitness class together. Their dedication and energy will motivate you to stay committed to your habit because you're exposed to their positive influence. This decision is your starting point, and from here, we'll work on turning that idea into action. So, Ask yourself right now, what habit do you want to change or build? Keep it clear, keep it simple, and let's take the first step together. Once you've identified the habit you want to change or build, the next step is to break it down into manageable, actionable steps. A big reason why people fail to stick to habits is that they make the goal too overwhelming or vague. For example, if your goal is to exercise every day, simply saying, "I'll work out daily," isn't enough. It lacks structure and feels intimidating. Instead, you need to break it down into smaller, specific actions that you can commit to without feeling overwhelmed. Let's take exercise as an example. Instead of aiming for an hour-long gym session right from the start, commit to something small and achievable, like a 10-minute walk or 5 minutes of stretching. These small steps create momentum and build confidence. Over time, you can expand these actions as the habit becomes a natural part of your routine. Another example, suppose your goal is to reduce screen time and be more present. Instead of attempting a complete digital detox, start by designating a specific time each day where you'll turn off your devices, maybe during meals or the first hour after you wake up. These smaller actions are less daunting, making it easier for you to succeed and build on that success. And here's a third example. If your habit is to cultivate gratitude, don't try to overhaul your mindset overnight. Start with something as simple as writing down one thing you're grateful for every morning. It's a small act, but over 21 days, it trains your brain to focus on the positives in your life, shifting your perspective in profound ways. Breaking habits down like this is a technique the Stoics themselves would have approved of. Marcus Aurelius wrote about taking life one step at a time, focusing on what you can control in the moment. By breaking your goal into smaller steps, you're not just making it easier to achieve, you're also aligning with the Stoic principle of mastering the present. So now, think about the habit you chose in step 1. What is the smallest possible step you can take toward that goal today? The key here is to start small, stay consistent, and trust the process. These small steps might feel insignificant at first, but over 21 days, they'll compound into a powerful transformation. Tracking your progress is one of the most effective ways to ensure you stick to your habit and make meaningful progress. When you monitor your actions daily, you create accountability for yourself and reinforce the behavior you're trying to build. The Stoics believed in self-reflection, and tracking your habits is a modern way to embody this principle. Start by setting up a simple system to track your progress. You don't need anything fancy. A notebook, a calendar, or even a habit-tracking app on your phone can do the job. For example, let's say your habit is to drink more water. Each day you meet your goal of drinking 8 glasses, mark it on your calendar with an X or a check mark. This visual representation of your progress can be incredibly motivating. Seeing a streak of success builds momentum and makes you want to keep going. Another example. If your habit is to meditate every day, use a habit tracking app to log the time you spend meditating. Many apps even send you reminders, which help you stay consistent. Over time, you'll see how many consecutive days you've meditated, and that sense of accomplishment will encourage you to keep up the habit. A third example is journaling. If you're working on a habit of practicing gratitude, track how many days you write in your gratitude journal. You could even add notes about how it's impacting your mood and mindset. Now imagine the opposite scenario. If your circle of friends often skips workouts or prefers sedentary activities, their behavior could make it harder for you to stick to your exercise routine. You might feel tempted to skip your workout and join them for a movie or dinner instead. This is why it's important to consciously choose people who align with your goals. Another example is, if you're trying to adopt a habit like reducing your screen time, surround yourself with people who prioritize meaningful, offline interactions. Spend time with friends or family members who enjoy engaging in conversations, outdoor activities, or creative hobbies. Their habits will rub off on you, and you'll find it easier to step away from screens and embrace other fulfilling activities. The third example involves personal growth habits, such as reading daily or practicing mindfulness. If you're part of a group or community that values self-improvement, you'll feel encouraged to stay consistent. Join a book club where members discuss what they're reading, or attend mindfulness workshops to meet like-minded people. These connections will make your new habit feel natural and enjoyable rather than a solitary effort. It's not just about finding people who already embody the habits you want to adopt. It's also about limiting time with those who hinder your progress. If someone in your life constantly discourages your efforts or doesn't respect your boundaries, it's okay to create some distance. The Stoics emphasized the importance of staying true to your principles and not allowing others to derail your path. By surrounding yourself with the right people during your 21-day challenge, you're setting up a support system that will uplift and motivate you. These relationships act as a buffer against setbacks and give you a sense of accountability. Over time, their positive influence will make it easier to solidify your habit and continue growing into the person you want to become. Tracking your progress is a powerful tool when it comes to changing any habit in 21 days. It provides you with a clear picture of where you stand, what you've achieved, and what areas need improvement. Without tracking, it's easy to lose focus or even forget the small wins along the way, which are critical for maintaining motivation. Let's say your goal is to wake up at 6 a.m. every day. Start by creating a simple system to track this habit. You can use a habit tracker app, a calendar, or even a notebook. Each day you wake up at the set time, mark it down with a check or a symbol. Seeing a streak of consistent days builds a sense of accomplishment, motivating you to keep going so you don't break the chain. For example, if you miss a day, don't see it as failure. View it as feedback. Ask yourself why it happened. Maybe you went to bed too late or didn't set your alarm properly. Use this information to adjust your approach. Perhaps you could create a bedtime routine to ensure you're well rested, or place your alarm across the room to force yourself to get out of bed. Another example is tracking a habit like drinking more water. If your goal is to drink 8 glasses a day, you can use a water bottle with measurements or set reminders on your phone. At the end of each day, note how much water you consumed. If you fall short one day, you'll know to be more mindful the next. This process helps you identify patterns, like whether you forget to drink water when you're busy at work, and create solutions, like keeping a bottle on your desk. A third example could be tracking your progress with a mindfulness habit, such as meditating for 10 minutes a day. Use a journal to write down how you feel before and after each session. Over time, you'll notice trends. Perhaps you feel calmer, more focused, or less stressed. These tangible results will reinforce your commitment to the habit because you'll see the benefits of your effort. In addition to tracking, celebrating small wins is key. Each time you complete a milestone, like sticking to your habit for a week, reward yourself in a way that aligns with your goals. For example, treat yourself to a new book or spend time doing something you love. This positive reinforcement makes the process enjoyable and encourages you to keep going. Tracking also serves as a reality check. Sometimes, we convince ourselves we're making progress when we're not as consistent as we think. By keeping a detailed record, you hold yourself accountable and can't ignore areas where you're falling short. This honesty with yourself is a principle deeply rooted in Stoicism, accepting reality as it is and working on improving it. Ultimately, tracking your progress turns an abstract goal into something tangible. It gives you clarity, accountability, and motivation, making the 21-day challenge less daunting and more achievable. By the end of the process, you'll have a concrete record of your journey and a strong sense of pride in how far you've come. Staying consistent with your efforts is the cornerstone of successfully changing a habit in 21 days. Consistency is what transforms your intention into reality. Without it, even the best plans and intentions fall apart. The key is to show up every single day, no matter how small the action may seem. It's not about perfection, it's about persistence. Imagine you're trying to build a habit of exercising daily. It doesn't have to be a full hour-long workout every day. Even 10 minutes of stretching or a short walk counts. The point is to keep the momentum going. For example, if you're having a particularly busy day, doing just a few squats or push-ups before bed ensures that you stay committed to your goal. The effort doesn't have to be grand, it just has to be consistent. Another example is writing a journal entry every evening. If your goal is to cultivate mindfulness through journaling, you don't need to write pages upon pages. Even jotting down 3 sentences about your day, your emotions, or what you're grateful for keeps the habit alive. On days when you feel uninspired or tired, simply writing one word or phrase is still a victory. It's these small, consistent actions that accumulate over time to create lasting change. Consistency also plays a crucial role in breaking bad habits. Let's say you're trying to cut down on screen time before bed. Start by committing to a specific action, like turning off your phone 30 minutes before you sleep. There may be days when the urge to scroll through social media is strong, but staying consistent, even when it's challenging, builds discipline. If you slip up one day, don't give up. Acknowledge it and refocus on your commitment the next day. Remember, consistency is not about never failing. It's about always getting back on track. One effective way to stay consistent is to tie your new habit to an existing routine. For example, if you want to practice gratitude daily, you can attach it to brushing your teeth at night. After brushing, take a moment to reflect on one thing you're grateful for that day. This method, known as habit stacking, makes it easier to integrate the new habit into your life because it piggybacks on something you already do without thinking. Another strategy is to set reminders or cues in your environment. For instance, if your goal is to drink more water, placing a water bottle in a visible spot, like on your desk or beside your bed, serves as a consistent visual reminder. These small adjustments make it easier to stay consistent because they reduce the need for willpower. Consistency is also deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of daily practice and effort in cultivating virtue. According to Stoicism, you don't need to achieve perfection to live a meaningful life. You just need to show up every day and do your best. This mindset can help you stay grounded when things get tough. Instead of focusing on results, focus on the process. Trust that your consistent actions will lead to the change you desire over time. Lastly, celebrate the act of showing up. Even if your progress feels slow or insignificant, acknowledge your effort. Consistency itself is a form of success. Over time, it builds momentum, strengthens your discipline, and reinforces your belief in your ability to change. By the end of 21 days, your consistent efforts will not only create a new habit, but also instill a sense of pride and confidence that extends beyond this challenge. Accountability is a powerful tool for ensuring success in forming new habits or breaking old ones. When you have someone or something holding you accountable, you're far more likely to stay committed to your goals, even on the tough days. It's human nature to work harder when we know someone is watching, or when we've shared our intentions publicly. This sense of responsibility can be the push you need to follow through, especially during moments of doubt or laziness. One effective way to build accountability is to share your goal with a trusted friend, family member, or mentor. For example, let's say you want to meditate every morning for 10 minutes. By telling a close friend about your goal and asking them to check in with you weekly, you create a system where you're not just answering to yourself, but to someone else as well. Knowing they'll ask about your progress can motivate you to keep going, even when you feel like skipping a day. Another example is joining a group or community with similar goals. If you're aiming to read more, joining a book club where members discuss their progress can hold you accountable. In such a group, skipping a reading session doesn't just affect you, it could make you feel unprepared for discussions or like you're letting the group down. This external pressure, in a positive sense, can help you stay consistent and committed to your habit. Technology can also play a role in accountability. There are numerous apps and tools designed to track habits and goals. For instance, apps like Habitica or Strides allow you to set daily habits and even gamify the process by rewarding you for staying on track. Some apps let you connect with others who can see your progress, creating a virtual system of accountability. If you're trying to develop a fitness routine, using a smartwatch or fitness tracker can help. It tracks your daily activity, and seeing your streak grow day by day can be incredibly motivating. For those who prefer a more structured approach, hiring a coach or mentor can be a game changer. Let's say you want to improve your physical health. A personal trainer not only designs a tailored workout plan for you, but also expects you to show up for sessions. Missing a session doesn't just affect your progress, it also feels like you're letting down someone who's invested in your success. This added layer of responsibility can significantly boost your commitment. Accountability doesn't always have to come from other people. It can also come from within. Keeping a journal to track your progress is a powerful self-accountability tool. For example, if your goal is to write daily, end each day by logging how much you wrote, how it felt, and what you learned. Over time, these entries become a record of your journey and a reminder of your commitment. Reviewing them can motivate you to keep pushing forward, even when progress feels slow. Another way to stay accountable to yourself is by setting rewards and consequences. For instance, if you complete your 21-day habit challenge, you could treat yourself to something you've wanted, like a new book or a fun outing. On the flip side, if you skip a day without a valid reason, you might impose a small consequence, like donating to charity or doing an extra chore. These small stakes create a psychological framework that encourages follow-through. Stoic philosophy also emphasizes accountability, particularly self-accountability. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about reflecting on one's actions at the end of the day. This practice of self-reflection can help you identify where you succeeded and where you fell short, allowing you to make adjustments moving forward. By being honest with yourself and regularly evaluating your progress, you strengthen your discipline and commitment. Accountability, whether external or internal, acts as a safety net that keeps you aligned with your goals. It's a reminder that your actions matter and that others, or even your future self, are counting on you to stay committed. By integrating accountability into your habit-forming process, you give yourself the support system you need to overcome challenges and ultimately succeed. Visualization is a powerful mental technique that can significantly enhance your ability to build new habits and make lasting changes. The concept involves mentally rehearsing your desired actions and outcomes, which helps to prime your mind for success and strengthen your commitment to your goals. When you visualize, you're not just imagining. You're training your brain to act in alignment with your intentions, creating a mental blueprint for success. Start by clearly defining the habit you want to adopt or the behavior you want to change. For example, if you want to start waking up earlier, visualize yourself waking up at your desired time, feeling refreshed and energized. Picture yourself getting out of bed without hesitation, starting your morning routine, and enjoying the extra time in your day. The more vivid and detailed your visualization, the more effective it will be. Imagine the colors, sounds, and emotions associated with your actions. Feel the sense of accomplishment that comes with sticking to your goal. Another example is related to improving your physical fitness. If your goal is to start running every morning, visualize yourself lacing up your running shoes, stepping outside, and feeling the cool morning air. Imagine the rhythm of your footsteps on the pavement, the satisfaction of completing your run, and the positive energy you feel afterward. This mental practice can help reduce resistance and make the habit feel more achievable. Visualization can also be used to overcome challenges or temptations. For instance, if you're trying to eat healthier and often struggle with cravings, take a moment to visualize yourself successfully resisting the temptation. Picture yourself choosing a nutritious meal instead, enjoying the flavors, and feeling proud of your decision. By rehearsing these scenarios in your mind, you build confidence and prepare yourself to act in alignment with your goals when faced with real-life situations. Another powerful way to use visualization is by incorporating it into a daily routine. Set aside a few minutes each morning to close your eyes and mentally walk through your day, focusing on the habits you want to reinforce. For example, if your goal is to read for 30 minutes after dinner, visualize yourself finishing your meal, picking up a book, and fully immersing yourself in reading. See yourself enjoying the process and feeling a sense of growth and accomplishment afterward. For those working on professional or personal development, visualization can also help build confidence. Imagine yourself excelling in situations that align with your goals. If you're working on public speaking, for instance, visualize yourself confidently delivering a presentation, connecting with your audience, and receiving positive feedback. This mental rehearsal not only reduces anxiety, but also helps you approach the actual experience with greater ease. Scientific studies have shown that visualization activates the same neural pathways as performing the actual activity. This means that when you repeatedly visualize a habit or behavior, you're essentially practicing it mentally. Over time, this primes your brain to adopt the behavior more naturally in real life. Additionally, combine visualization with positive affirmations to amplify its effects. For example, if your goal is to stay consistent with meditation, as you visualize yourself sitting in a peaceful space and meditating, affirm to yourself, "I am consistent, calm, and committed to my growth." These affirmations reinforce your mental imagery and strengthen your resolve. Stoic philosophy also supports the practice of visualization, particularly in the form of premeditatio malorum, or the visualization of potential obstacles. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the challenges he might face during the day and mentally prepared himself to respond with reason and resilience. Similarly, you can use visualization to anticipate hurdles in your journey toward building new habits and mentally rehearse how you'll overcome them. By dedicating time to visualization, ask yourself questions like, how many days did I successfully work out? What motivated me on the days I succeeded? What held me back on the days I didn't? By answering these questions honestly, you can uncover patterns and create strategies to improve. For example, let's say you've committed to reading for 30 minutes every evening, but you missed a couple of days. During reflection, you realize those missed days were due to spending too much time on your phone before bed. Recognizing this, you decide to set an alarm an hour before bedtime as a reminder to put your phone away and focus on reading instead. This small adjustment can help you overcome the obstacle and reinforce your habit. Another example involves financial habits. If you've started tracking your spending to save more money, reflect on your progress every month. Review your expenses, identify areas where you overspent, and acknowledge the areas where you successfully saved. Let's say you notice you've been dining out more frequently, which impacts your savings goal. During your reflection, you could decide to plan meals in advance and allocate a specific budget for eating out. By doing so, you stay proactive and committed to your financial goals. The practice of reflection also gives you the opportunity to celebrate your achievements, no matter how small they may seem. For instance, if your goal is to improve your physical health by drinking more water, reflecting on the fact that you've gone from drinking 2 glasses a day to 6 is a win worth acknowledging. This sense of accomplishment fuels motivation and reminds you that even small steps lead to big progress over time. A third example might involve working on improving relationships. Suppose you've decided to show more gratitude to your loved ones by expressing appreciation daily. During reflection, you might realize you've been consistent with family members, but not as much with friends. This insight helps you adjust your approach by setting a reminder to send a thoughtful message or express gratitude during conversations with friends. Reflection doesn't just focus on identifying problems, it's also about recognizing growth. If you're learning a new skill, like playing the guitar, reflecting on how you've gone from struggling to form chords to confidently playing a song is a moment of pride. It reminds you of the progress you've made and keeps you motivated to continue practicing. Journaling is an excellent tool for reflection. Write down your thoughts, successes, and challenges regularly. For instance, if you're meditating daily, keep a journal where you note how you felt before and after each session. Over time, you'll notice trends, such as feeling calmer or more focused on days when you meditated, which reinforces the value of maintaining the habit. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of reflection, often in the form of evening meditations. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, practiced this by reviewing his actions and thoughts each day, asking himself if he had lived in alignment with his values. You can do the same by reflecting on whether your habits are contributing to your long-term goals and if your actions align with the person you want to become. Reflection is not about perfection, it's about progress. By taking the time to pause, evaluate, and learn from your experiences, you build self-awareness and resilience. This habit of reflection becomes a compass that guides you toward your goals, helping you stay aligned with your values and ensuring that the changes you're making truly enrich your life. Staying consistent with your habits is arguably one of the most challenging yet essential components of any personal development journey. Consistency ensures that you're building momentum, reinforcing your efforts, and gradually turning your intentions. When it comes to creating or breaking a habit, consistency is the bridge between motivation and results. The first step to maintaining consistency is establishing a clear and realistic routine. Trying to change too much at once or setting overly ambitious goals can quickly lead to burnout. For instance, if you've decided to exercise every day but you're new to it, starting with 30 minutes a day might feel overwhelming. Instead, begin with 10 to 15-minute sessions, and as you build strength and comfort, gradually increase the duration. Small, incremental steps are key to long-term success. A powerful way to stay consistent is by integrating your new habits into your daily life so seamlessly that they almost become automatic. For example, if your goal is to read more, set a specific time every day, maybe during your morning coffee or right before bed. This structure will reduce decision fatigue, as you won't have to think about when or how to fit the activity into your day. The same goes for physical activities. If you make a habit of stretching after brushing your teeth, it becomes part of your routine rather than something you have to think too hard about. Tracking your progress is another effective way to stay consistent. It gives you a tangible sense of accomplishment and reinforces your commitment. There are many apps and tools available to help you monitor your habits, whether it's keeping a fitness log, tracking your water intake, or noting how often you've meditated. For example, if you're trying to improve your mental clarity through meditation, a simple habit tracker app can show you how many consecutive days you've meditated. Over time, that streak becomes a source of pride, and you'll feel motivated to maintain it. The visual progress helps you see that you're moving forward and makes it harder to break the chain of good habits. However, it's important to understand that consistency doesn't mean perfection. You will inevitably encounter setbacks or disruptions in your routine. For instance, if you're working on a daily writing habit and you miss a day, don't beat yourself up. Instead, remind yourself that one slip-up doesn't define your overall progress. Acknowledge it, learn from it, and get back on track the next day. The key is to avoid letting one mistake snowball into abandoning the habit altogether. One day off doesn't erase the positive strides you've made, and it certainly doesn't mean you should give up. A good mindset is to focus on resilience, not perfection. Being consistent also means prioritizing your habits, even on busy or tough days. It might mean adjusting your schedule to make room for your goals. Let's say you're aiming to drink more water every day. If you're feeling exhausted or have a packed day, take a few minutes to drink a glass of water before you get caught up in everything else. These small actions help reinforce the importance of your habits, making it easier to stay on track even when life throws challenges your way. An example that illustrates this can be seen with an individual who's focused on health. They've set a goal of walking 10,000 steps daily. On a particularly hectic workday, they might find it hard to fit in a full walk, but instead of skipping it altogether, they make a point to walk during lunch or take short breaks to walk around the office. The point is not to hit the exact 10,000 step target each day, but to make consistent efforts, even when faced with obstacles. Another effective strategy for consistency is having a support system. Whether it's a friend, a family member, or an online community, sharing your goals and progress with others increases accountability. This can also provide you with motivation on the days when your resolve feels weak. For instance, If you're committed to writing every day, you could join a writing group where members post their daily word count. Having this group or individual to report to adds an extra layer of responsibility, making it easier to stick with your habit. The social aspect makes it less likely you'll skip a day when you know others are counting on your participation or rooting for your success. An example of this can be seen in workout groups. Many people find success in maintaining a consistent fitness routine by joining a gym buddy system. You make plans to work out together at a specific time, and the mutual commitment encourages both people to show up. The support, shared goals, and camaraderie make it easier to stay consistent, especially when motivation fluctuates. Consistency is also about setting realistic expectations and being patient with the process. Recognize that habits, especially ones that you want to be lasting, take time to solidify. Think of consistency as planting a seed. It doesn't grow overnight, but with regular care and attention, it will eventually bear fruit. Stay patient, trust the process, and understand that the consistency you're building today will pay off in the long run. Lastly, one of the most crucial aspects of consistency is self-compassion. If you mess up, don't view it as a failure. View it as a learning experience. Be kind to yourself, and remember that forming habits is a marathon, not a sprint. You're building sustainable changes that will make a lasting impact on your life. So treat yourself with patience and respect along the way. By focusing on these principles of consistency, starting small, tracking progress, prioritizing your habits, seeking support, and being patient, you'll be able to keep going even when things get difficult. The key is to stay committed to the process, knowing that each small step is moving you closer to a healthier, more productive, and fulfilling life.